Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Well, it's Bolivar Live on the road. You know I'm on vacation, but I can't get away from a little work and a little live feed. Onalaska, Texas, where we're staying, has their 8th annual Onalaska Triathlon this morning. So I thought I'd come down and videotape and do a live feed and let you see what they're doing up here in the piney woods at Lake Livingston to have some family fun. You can see behind me is the start, and we're going to watch them and be here for a while. We're going to catch them as they start. They're going to swim 1.2 miles out and back. Then they're going to get out. They're going to run over to their bikes, and they're going to bike 56 miles. Once they get done with that, then they're going to put on their running shoes, and they're going to run 13.1 miles to the finish line here. And it's all taking place at the KOA campground, a beautiful site with RV sites and cabins here outside of Onalaska on Lake Livingston. So we're going to step behind the camera, watch this start. It kicks off at 7 a.m. They said some of the first people will come across the finish line about 10 or 10:30 probably. And so we're going to try and stick around and catch different sections of the race. We're also going to have Coastal One up in the air, trying to give you a live feed from up above. So y'all stick around and watch this triathlon. The cabins that we're staying at, B&R Cabin and Lodging, actually had one of the runners, one of the contestants here on this triathlon. And so we talked to one of the sheriff's department up here. You can see them getting all fired up. Now, this is the first triathlon that.
How long did she say it took them to get out of the water?
One of the swimmers I talked to yesterday said about 32 minutes.
So the first day I watched it down here, they hit the water at 7 and had the first swimmer come out at 7:23.
Did they? Well, everyone's getting ready, and I was just talking to one of the volunteer fire departments, and I talked to one of the swimmers yesterday, or one of the contestants, and they're going to swim 1.2 miles. Now, I know what that would take me, and it'd probably take a cardiac wagon to get me back in. But some of these swimmers will come out of the water, could be after 23 minutes. I know the swimmer I talked to, or the contestant I talked to, said that she would be out probably in about 30, 35 minutes. So that just tells you how fast. And if they're starting at 7 a.m. and then they're going to finish up at 10:30, and that's after 1.2 mile swim, that's after a 56-mile bike ride, and then a 13.1 mile run. 7, 8, 9, 10, 3.5 hours. They could be some of the finishers could be coming across. Now I'm gonna pan around and let y'all see exactly what it looks like up here. There's the first run, and then you can see out in and I'm going to zoom in. There's some people in the way, but I'm going to zoom in on the swimming course so that you can see they have jet skis. The sheriff's department's down here. They have jet skis, and then you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see the course they have laid out where it's monitored. Oh, they've got safety people out there. And so this is a very safety conscious event. Now, a lot of people know here this last week they did get a 12-foot gator right down the shoreline from here. And this morning when I was walking Gabby about 5 o'clock, I heard one launch off the bank. Well, it looks like they've started the first round. And they can't dive because it's only about 4 feet deep there. But you can see the first run. They're going to all come off the dock. And everything's timed here. So they know exactly when people are starting. And due to the pandemic, when I was talking to the event person, usually they have about 200 people here, contestants. This year they could only have 100 people, 50% of their typical lineup. And so you can see the swimmers are taking off, and I'm going to pan around so that you can see them cutting through the water. This is a great community event up here. It brings people in. I know the girl that I was talking to at our cabin said that she's from San Antonio. Actually, she's in the U.S. Navy going through to be a doctor. And she's in San Antonio right now. And then she goes to San Diego, but she came down here to do she does triathlons. Now this is a half triathlon. And so everything they do is typically half, from what I understand, of what a full-blown triathlon is. But these are done all over. I know these people do one in Pearland, and we're working on, had a meeting with them yesterday, and we're working on actually bringing it to Bolivar next year in 2021. We've got some other new events. Last year we started the Christmas Festival, and we've already got it started. And then we've moved Brad and Big Rich's Cajun Chef's Cook-Off. We're gonna have it, launch it this week. We're working on the website now and the sign-up forms for the cook-off teams, washer tournament, bunch of Cajun live music. And so this is just another great event that we can bring, Bolivar Tourism can bring coastal outdoors and the businesses on Bolivar Peninsula. It's a group effort, it's a team effort to do all this. So you can see they've got the Sheriff's Department is out in their boat here, and I'm gonna pan around here so you can see them. I want to thank Polk County Sheriff's Department. And they have volunteers on jet skis, they have them in kayaks. Every part of this swim is monitored so that they can watch the swimmers and make sure no one has any problems. If they do, they've got people there close by. And I'm gonna pan around over here so you can see the swimmers leaving again. But they had 100 contestants in this event, and there's the start, and that's where the swimmers will come out. Like I said, it's a little different this year because due to the pandemic. They're having to space everyone out, and they're doing a great job of that. This morning, everyone was wearing masks around in the area, and there you can see the people still waiting to go. Chris and I have had a great time up here on Onalaska. We've had some great food. Actually, I went back to Gene's Barbecue yesterday and got a 2-meat plate this time because the 3-meat plate was big. We're going to try Jerry's, I think, for breakfast or lunch today. I know a lot of people have spoke highly about it. And then we're staying at B&R Lodging and RV Park because KOA was booked up already, so we couldn't get in here. This was a last-minute deal getaway for Chris and I. But whenever I heard about this, I knew I had to come down here and get a live feed going and let y'all see what goes on up here on the lake. There you can see the swimmers. Going through, they've got this thing laid out pretty good, and the kayakers are right in line with the buoys out here so that everyone knows where they need to go and they can keep track of where they're going. Now, they've also have someone on the dock that's putting in times, the time that everyone leaves, and I don't know if I can get him, but this is a timed event. I don't think I can see him. He's right at the end there. But there you can see the swimmers leaving. And then you can see the swimmers. The first one looks like he's about maybe a quarter of the way, not quite halfway, a third of the way out. Let me see if I can zoom in. That's zoomed in all the way, and you can see where the pylons are out there and where they are. So we're gonna stay here for a little bit, watch everyone leave, and then we're gonna pick them up on their bike ride, a 56-mile, this is a 1.2-mile swim. And then we're going to pick them up on a 56-mile bike ride that they ride down around along the highway and then back, and then they'll swap into their running shoes. And actually, everything's run out of the KOA campground here in Onalaska. So a lot of family, excuse me, family around sitting and watching everyone. There you can see some of the safety people out on the swimming course. Look like some of the swimmers are getting outside the buoys there. Let me get back around here to the start again, and we'll pan out and show you everyone that's here and all the contestants as we go through here. I know I got up at 5 o'clock and started getting ready, got down here about 10 till 6, and there was already a lot of people here getting their bikes set up, stretching, and so this starts in the early morning hours, but a lot of it's over. You know, one of the first people may come in around 10:30, and this is after a 7 a.m. start. So they'll come back up the boat ramp and through that hoop there. And they're probably about halfway through the start of this. I guess they have two heats on this, or two sections that start. I know some of these are doing it, I think, for the entrance and maybe to one of the Ironmans. I'm not sure. But there you can see now they're lining up the second heat. And this one is? I just was told this group here is a shorter distance on the swim. And they've got yellow dots up and down these boat ramps, spaced out 6 foot apart, so that everyone stays there 6 foot apart as requested by the state. And now they're getting ready. And it looks like, looking down here, it looks like the first swimmer should be about almost to the first buoy. But they're having everyone jump in. This water here is only 4 feet, and I think the boat ramp is slippery, so they're leaving off the dock. And you can't see it, but on the other dock, the one closest to the bottom, there's actually a gentleman with a computer, and he's setting in and putting in the time when everyone leaves, so that when it's all over with, they can tell exactly what your time was in this event and who won this event. So, like I said, there's people that have traveled from all over. I know the cabins that we're staying in at B&R Lodging and RV, they've got one other person that's in this event, and camera's a little crooked, but I'm on a hill. That's something we got up here. Man, it's been beautiful. The rolling terrain, when you're used, for 30 years you've been on, 20 years you've been on flat terrain, and there's a bunch of trees up here, and it's just beautiful. Our cabin is actually about 30 feet from the water's edge, and so we've been able to sit on the deck, watch the sunset. I posted a picture. Yesterday I didn't do any live feeds. We were running around all day looking at different areas up here at the lake, and talking to a lot of people. Met some people and had some people send me a message on Facebook that actually vacation in Bolivar, and they saw the Bolivar live truck up here. And so if you see the Bolivar live truck and you're up here, flag us down, and we'd love to meet you. We also have the basket. If you ask what's free today, we've got free giveaways in the truck. Koozies, we've got some beach balls, we've got some Frisbees like we give away down on the beach during the summer and that. And so I'm gonna zoom in and see if I can see where the swimmers are in the first leg that left out of here. There you can see some at the top. Let me move the camera a little bit. Well, they're not staying in the markers, I can tell you that. But there you can see the kayaks that they have out here in boats for safety reasons, to make sure everyone's okay. If anyone cramps up, they've got someone close by that can help them in that. And so there you can see the swimmers all the way out. One looks like it's to the first yellow marker. Let me see if I can zoom up a little bit to the first yellow marker. The other thing that's not up here is mosquitoes. I had the light on in the truck and had a few mosquitoes, but boy, if we were down in Bolivar, it's been terrible. It got better the last 2 days right before we left. We left on Friday morning, and they weren't as bad as they had been, but the plane had been flying just about every day. There you can see, I know there was some bass fishermen and some fishermen that left out from the marina here before, as we were getting here. Boats were leaving out, and I saw some people at the place we're staying that were getting ready to go out and fish this morning. So they dropped the level of the lake, from what I understand, for Hurricane Laura, not knowing where it was going to come in or how much rain they were going to get. And then they brought the lake level back up, from my understanding. And so just like when we get a north wind down there, it throws the fishing off a little bit. And so I know the people that were fishing from the bank there at the cabins had caught a few small catfish. I think someone caught a crappie and a bass, but it wasn't like it usually is. And I was told that in the springtime, because it's a cove and it's shallow, that the catfishing's real good starting in the latter part of February, March, April, and May from spawning. And so we're going to try and get back up here and do a little catfishing. We did when I was growing up. We had a lake house in Yopon Cove. In fact, we've driven around and saw the tornado damage, and they're still not recovered for it, and it was devastating. Homes that were gone. Actually, our lake house just barely made it, it looked like. And so I was happy to see that our lake house was still here, because I grew up in junior high and high school going to it on weekends and spending summer vacations up here. So, but the destruction was devastating, and you can see the path where it went through, and there's no trees, no anything left, and a lot of homes were damaged and destroyed. They had quite a few people that were injured up here, and a few that even passed. So anyway, keep them in your prayers. We also want to keep Louisiana. They've got a long road ahead of recovery, and so keep all them in your prayers too. But anyway, you can see the swimmers are making their way, and we still have some that are going in. I'm going to pan back around over here so that you can see the swimmers that are leaving. Zoom out a little bit. They're jumping in and then leaving, because this is only about 4 feet deep, so it would be a short swim if they dove in. And they've still got a line, but they've done a great job up here making sure everyone's spaced apart, and all the contestants, when they were signing in yesterday, I was up here a little bit, they were wearing their masks. Few outlaws in there. I got in trouble yesterday because I went in the outdoor at Lowe's, and I apologize for that. But you can still see there's still a line of contestants. They had 100 contestants in this this triathlon, or half triathlon, I guess you could say. Where typically they'll have up to 200 people, and so they had to cut their entries in half. And talking to the people that were doing it, this is the only one they've been able to have this year because of the pandemic. So it's a great event for the community here. There's people that watch all up and down the course. They swim 1.2 miles, and then they bike 56 miles, and then they run 13.1 miles. And I'm going to zoom in on the course here so you can see the swimmers out there. And all this is done, most of them are out. Some of them will start coming in about 10 or 10:30, I was told. I don't know how the humidity affects them. We've got some humidity up here today, but then some of them will come in as late as maybe noon, 12:30. And so, but the major accomplishment for one of these things is to finish it. And that's what some of the people I were talking to, they're not doing it to win it. It's just an accomplishment for them to finish it. Now, I can tell you, they'd be picking me up about that first buoy you see at the bottom of the camera out there, and having to bring me back, and I darn sure couldn't make the 13-mile run or the 56-mile bike ride without some serious training. And these people train year-round. The lady I was talking to at the cabins that we're at said actually the last 2 or 3 days have been nice because she cuts back on her training. She said the great part is, with all the training she does, she can eat anything she wants and not have to worry about it. And so I saw her out last night. She was taking it easy, walking the dog. She's got a hound dog that, if you've never seen a hound dog swim, it'll get you rolling. We had fun time talking and watching the dogs swim around the cove there. So, but, and some other people had a brand new paddle board. It was just great to see the families out like we do on Bolivar, having a good time, having fun. So anyway, For those that are just joining us, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Actually, I'm on vacation, and I had Bolivar Live on the road showcasing East Texas and Lake Livingston here in Onalaska, Texas. A lot of people laughed. I heard some people say, we'd rather go to the beach. Well, when you live at the beach, you'd rather go up to the piney woods and see trees and the lake and some other things. And so we've been up here driving around. It's beautiful up here. It is hot. They do have a little humidity, but the mosquitoes weren't as bad as when I left, and so that was nice. But they do have mosquitoes. The camp owner said about 2 weeks ago they were terrible up here, and they do have those little black no-see-em gnats. And so that's just part of nature, being out in nature. I'm going to show you something here. There's some little kids here that are cheering on their dad, sitting on the dock, cheering their dad on, and it's just cute seeing them watching them cheer their dad on, go daddy, go daddy. So anyway, there you can see the course. They've got buoys marking everything. They measure it out. It's a 1.2 mile swim going out and come back in. And then once they get out, they go across the parking lot and they pick up their bike. And they bike 56 miles, okay? Once they finish biking 56 miles, or 57 miles, I believe, then they run 13.1 miles back to the finish line. So they've got a strong morning ahead of them, a busy morning. And they said some of these people will actually come back across the finish line about between 10 and 10:30, and they started at 7 this whole run and everything. So anyway, we're having a good time up here on vacation with the Bolivar Live truck. Have met some people that actually vacation on Bolivar. If you see the Bolivar Live truck up here, wave at us, honk at us, flag us down. If you come up to the truck, we've actually got our basket with us. We've got some koozies and beach balls and some frisbees. So make sure you flag us down or stop us when we're in a parking lot somewhere and get your free giveaways. One thing here, I don't think there's much of a current. There is a wind, and it's sort of a behind them at an angle wind, so I don't know if that affects them on their way back in. But it seems like all the swimmers are going to the right of the line they have made out. I guess they go outside it and then come back down inside it. So, but you can see kayakers out there. And the volunteer fire department here works a lot of this on the jet skis. The sheriff's department has their boat out. Polk County Sheriff's Department has their boat out. They've got people with binoculars. They've got kayakers that are set up along the course to make sure they're okay. They've got some boaters out there so that if they do have an emergency, they can get someone back in. This is a real safe, and I was talking to one of the sheriffs earlier, and they've got sheriff's department. They actually cross a county line in the bike ride, and so they've got Polk County on one side, and I believe it's, I can't remember which one on the other side, but this is a multi-county deal, event here, and so it's a great event. It brings in a lot of people. Some of these some areas they have, 300 contestants. Typically here they said they had around 200, and this year due to the pandemic, they only could bring in 100, and so they had to cut the registration off at 100 people. And everything around here is marked. They've got yellow dots on the parking lot so that when they were lining everyone up, and here I'm gonna pan around because it looks like the last people are going into the water here. That gentleman right there should be the last one in from what we're seeing. And so all 100 contestants will be in the water then. Four, there goes the three people left. Two people left. This is a timed event, and I think some of them are doing it to try and get into the Ironman, if I'm not mistaken. And there's the last swimmer of the 2020 Onalaska Triathlon. And you can see the swimmers. One thing I noticed with these swimmers, they're not, it's just an even stroke. And let's see, we're coming in at 7:25, and the last swimmer went in. So for the last 25 minutes now, they've been cutting. Oh, we've got one more here. Let's come back. I've heard there's some people coming back, and so let's zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in as much as I can. There you can see the swimmers going away. And that far yellow buoy is where the first swimmers are going to. The second group that left out is actually going to the first yellow buoys. But you can see the, sorry about that, get you dizzy this morning, that you can see the swimmers, the yellow, a lot of them have yellow caps on so that, no, I guess, yeah, that's yellow caps. I guess they do that so they can be seen. And it looks like they're right in the middle. We've got some swimmers coming back inside the buoys. Hope they don't run into them. But as long as the batteries last, we're going to try and stay live till the first swimmers get up. And then we're going to be shooting into the sun. I don't know if we can see their bikes because they run about 150 yards, 200 yards up to their bikes. And that's where they get on their bikes. And then that bridge, let me pan around over here. This is the 190 bridge. They'll go across that and they'll bike 56 miles or 57 miles back to the KOA campground where we're at. And then they'll put on their running shoes and run 13.1 miles. So I want to thank the sheriffs here that I've talked to have been awesome. I want to thank the KOA campground that puts this on every year. I want to thank Onalaska. Actually, the contestants don't park here. They actually park down at the high school. They come here, drop their bikes off and all their gear, and then they go park at the high school, and they've got a bus that brings them back then to the area because of all the contestants. On a typical year, they may have 200 contestants, and so they don't have enough parking here, and that's what we were talking about on Bolivar. If we did it, what we could do and where we could park them, and so we're working on that, but I'm excited about it. This is that we'll be talking about here over the next 3 or 4 months, trying to get everything lined out so that we could actually bring this to Bolivar Peninsula in the off months. I think it'd be great for the community. I think it'd be great for the businesses down there. I've already talked to 3 or 4 businesses if they'd want to get involved, and we've got their support. And so it's something we're working on. Not the reason we came up here, but you know, you never know what you may fall into when traveling in that. And so we've been talking to people and finding out what they do up here and what goes on. And just like down there, July 4th is their big weekend up here. I was talking to one of the sheriffs this morning. He said that's the weekend that it's all hands on deck. And I said, yeah, we understand that down on Bolivar because it's all hands on deck plus some. So anyway, you can see what it looks like up here. In the background, you can see the pine trees and oak trees and all elm trees or something. Chris and I have had a good time up here. It's been a great getaway from us. Yes, I've done a little bit of work up here, but just seeing the area, a different area up here is altogether different. So there you can see swimmers coming back. Those left out at 7 a.m. and let's see what time it is. It's 7:30, and so you can see the swimmers coming back. They said one year someone came back in 23 minutes, and so that's a pretty quick swim there. And I'm gonna pan around. I don't know if you can see them. There's swimmers coming back this direction, and actually there's one right up here coming in. Let me pan out the first one across. There you can see there's the first swimmer coming back in, and he'll get out, take his probably his cap off if he has one. I don't know if he'll shed anything else, and then they run up to his bike, and he's coming in here, and they've got people standing on the boat ramp to help them out because just like on the boat ramps on Bolivar, it is slippery. And there's the first swimmer coming in at the 2020 Onalaska Triathlon. And we're going to zoom out a little bit. There he is, the first swimmer. Now he'll get out, shed anything he needs to shed. Up, slipped a little bit, and run up to his bike. And we're gonna follow him up to his bike. And it's up on the hill there. And then he'll bike 50, I believe 56 miles, 57 miles. And we've got 2 more swimmers, it looks like, that are coming in. And these swimmers here left at 7 a.m. And they've swam 1.2 miles. And so that tells you the time on how long it takes to swim 1.2 miles for some of these people. And you can see the Polk County Sheriff's boat out there, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see the last of the swimmers there. We're zoomed in all the way. The last group goes to the first yellow marker. The first group went to the second yellow marker. It's a little bit longer swim there, but you can see the kayakers. And once this finishes, they'll bring the buoys back in as swimmers finish and head back in. But we've got some more swimmers, 2 swimmers coming in now. And I'm gonna pan around over here so you can catch them. First one was a gentleman. And there you can see the second and third swimmer coming in from the triathlon. These swimmers left at 7 o'clock, 7:05 this morning. And they have people, because the boat ramp is slippery. There's a gentleman, the second swimmer out of the water. And the third swimmer out of the water. These swimmers left at 7 a.m. this morning, and so you can see them. Now they'll go up, put on their shoes on their bikes, and get a drink of water. There's a fourth one here. So we've got quite a few of them coming back in. We're going to get the truck loaded up and try and go catch them on a bike ride. I may go pick up Miss Chris. She's up. She sent me a message, and try and catch them at the finish line here. They said 10:30 they could have some finishers coming across the line. So we'll try and get back up here. We're going to do some more filming, and we'll be back live from somewhere on the road. We won't be back unless the weather turns bad. We'll be back in town on Monday, and we've got a lot going on getting ready for the Brad and Big Rich's Cajun Chef's Cook-Off. A full day of family fun, October 17th. We've got limited space, 10 teams. We're going to have craft booths there, live Cajun music all day, Cajun cooking where you can taste it and vote on the People's Choice Award, and all the money raised from this is going to go to the 100 Club for Chambers County, Galveston County, Chambers County, and Jefferson County. And the washer tournament, all the funds raised from it goes to the Texas Crab Festival charity. So we'll have some more information on that. We've already penciled in some teams, and we'll get the online sign up going for everything on that for the washer tournament and the cook-off. If you're looking for a craft booth, get hold of Kathy at the Tourism Center, and she can get you signed up there. We'll have everything sort of finished up probably Tuesday, where we can start getting people signed up. We're going to head on out. Hope you enjoyed the show. We're live from Onalaska, Texas, Lake Livingston at the 8th Annual Onalaska Triathlon. Until next time, this is David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.